Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. I had to update before I could go on. It's so annoying when that happens. Your technology's like, you can't do this unless you wait 15 hours. Anyway, so hi everybody. There has it's been a crazy week, man. We've had some really intense energy going through and as a result, a lot of people have been reporting a lot more ascension symptoms than I've had happen for at least this past few months. Um, some of the stuff that I've been having happen has a lot to do with the head, very head related kind of stuff. I kind of feeling poppy in the head. Like I guess it feels kind of like a side note of dizziness almost, but it's not dizziness. I don't know how to explain it. Just real like and I tuned into it asking spirit about it, and they said that it has to do with the purging of the parasites that a lot of us are doing. We're in the middle of what they're calling the grand purge right now, globally speaking. So many of us are having this kind of experience. Um, what they had suggested to me, and then later actually talking to somebody else, they had suggested the same thing, which validated it, was we need to, I personally, it helped me to remove any sugar. I still use sugar on occasion for, it was Valentine's Day, and so I made a cacao cake, but it had a lot of sugar in it. Sugar wasn't helping. So they were like, knock off the sugar. That'll help you a lot. So anyway, that was one of the really big ones I had. An electric response through my body, kind of uncomfortable electric response. It felt electric as that was happening. It was affecting hand, arm, back, and foot. Later after it, I found that there were a whole bunch of people having that same sensation, even the little kiddos all over the planet. There's something going on with that. I know that I've been kind of following, just like you all probably do, the Schumann resonance, which at the time was like spiking all over the place. Um, However, we've not really had anything solar flare wise to speak of. There's not been a whole lot of evidence for this. And it's been kind of funny to look that up because as I find the scientists, normally can report on these things, they've also like been scratching their head. I kind of want to show you guys something before I'll do it right now really quickly, and then I'll jump into your questions. So this is very, very fascinating. I think this is the right one. Yeah, 10-day plot. Check this out. So this is really crazy. So if you look at this, you'll see like this is the past 10 days. And oh gosh, you can't see it all the way, can you? Let's see. You have to scroll it up. There we go. This is the past 10 days, and the yellow parts here are the spikes. Now, typically in a very stable, energy, you'll see it where it's, green or nothing. And look at all of the yellow that we've had, you know, it's amazing. Of 5 is when we a geomagnetic storm that we can really count on. Right now we're in a 3.33, but isn't that fascinating? All right, how do I close this? I don't know how to turn that off. Actually, that's funny. I had okay, hi. There we go. So isn't that fascinating though? And so, oh, there we go. Stop sharing. That's it. That's the button. I don't normally do this. There's the share screen. Anyway, you can look that up really easily if you want to go to the website. It's just typing in KP index, and I found that I found a bunch of different options. This was the main one. I'll grab the copy. I'll grab the address and stick it in the comments here on YouTube. When I make a comment, it only shows up on YouTube. So if you're joining on Facebook, you'll have to go to YouTube to see it. Anyway, while we have these geomagnetic storms, usually they're a result of solar flares. and they're not right now. We're having low grade C flares the past 24 hours, yet we're still in this upswing of energy, so here, I'll even put this up on the screen so you guys can, that's just the 10-day plot is how I could see what's happened the past 10 days. Though if you just go to without the hashtag 10-day plot, you'll actually see what's been happening that's just the past 24 hours, which is really useful. So other stuff before I jump into your comments. Huge amounts of exhaustion, like profound exhaustion, weird irritability, like flares of frustration and irritability, kind of feeling a little bit like kind of restless, like there's stuff that you want to do and just but you don't want to do anything. It's kind of that kind of energy. A lot of noticing this life review stuff is continuing to happen. The life review that I was talking about before, and I've mentioned in previous live conversations, where you just the things from your past coming up, and like it feels kind of like what you would expect for when you are, not that this is happening, are done with this incarnation, the life review, where you see these different moments. Usually they're the moments that there's shame or guilt or these types of things that I'm finding coming up. They could be from a very, very long time ago, and they're coming forward. The reason this is happening is for us to see them, to feel through them, and to be done with them. Not in a angry or unkind way. It's just, okay, in order to not have this as baggage that you're carrying along with you, we need to feel it. We need to see it and feel it and move on. What's fascinating too is some of these that are coming up are from previous incarnation cycles, from previous lives, and not always is it from this particular life that you're in now. So it's really fascinating. There's a bunch more, but I'll grab some of your comments. For itching, Eric, thank you for saying this, because this is something I was actually thinking about. And weird rashes and itching, electric energy flowing through the skin. It feels electric, and it's causing this itching sensation. There's more to it. That's not just that. Now that I say that, I'm like, oh. But finding this weird, also wanting to just take extra baths. I'm using like scrubs more often, you know what I mean? Like there's something that I feel like this has to do with the purging that we're doing. A lot of us are releasing parasites that we've been collected, toxins. We call them parasites too, but all of the above over the past little while, but especially now. Also, the itchiness right around the third eye has been really interesting. Along with that, this headache that's like right here. It's just boom kind of headache. I also have noticed it on the side. For me, usually it's on the right side, though everyone's different. But there's a lot of this like weird, it's like a lasting dull achiness. It's just really uncomfortable. So Lisa says, I wondered the same thing. Okay, there's a comment from before I joined. I can't see what you said, Marietta. Like the flu is kind of a vehicle for symptoms of upgrading us. No idea if this is so. I definitely feel like this. A lot of the stuff that we've labeled as other kind of illness, because we were told that was what the case was, is kind of turning out to not be the case. We're finding out that a lot of the other things that were called something else are simple symptoms of upgrades, and there's no need for us to rush to the drugstore and drink these cough syrups and things like that those actually stop the process. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you what I do for me, so I totally agree, Lisa and Marietta. Hello, Colleen. Good to see you. Sending you love. Everyone to say, oh, cooey, everyone. You got this. Thank you, Vegan Vixen. Yeah, dude. Hey, Vegan Vixen, how are you? I don't know if I've talked to you since you said you had a procedure coming up. Eric says staying in joy is the only thing that truly might mitigates the ascension symptoms for me. Yes, joy and appreciation. My lovely brother Colin had so perfectly stated that there was the realization of using the word appreciation rather than gratitude, because gratitude, you can do what you want, but gratitude is there's some type of like I owe you kind of energy to it, and appreciation is everyone's on the even keel, even plane. And so appreciation, along with what you said, Eric, I totally agree. Being in this just lovely, happy place, the more that you can be in bliss, the better. You know, the more and not all of us are, it's easy for us to do, especially in my earlier life. I really struggled with maintaining happiness. You know, when I was on my own, I was not. You know, when I wasn't, well, I guess it was also when I was around others, it was just that I was acting, you know, and then I started to purge the trauma. You know, I started to, well, I already had been doing it, but I did it in a more intentional way, in a more accelerated way. I wasn't, I was no longer going to coast through life on good enough, you know, and that was a result of my daughter, actually, was why I accelerated. I had a daughter and I wanted to be the best mom I could for her. And so she's why I started to really focus on the healing of this trauma of my experience. As many of you know, I come from a lot of trauma, just like many of you. I was a trafficked child. I had some serious abuse. It was not uncommon for us to have broken bones and all kinds of issues that we never went to the doctor for. And, you know, that we had some real serious stuff going on, you know, until I finally escaped when I was 14 and was then accepted into foster care for a while in that whole process. But yeah. And when I didn't heal through any of that stuff was when things got worse, when things were unmanageable and I wasn't able to reach into the joy, into the bliss. And then once I healed through those things by re-experiencing them and letting myself change the story in some ways. It was called quantum healing, it turned out, what the Pleiadians were guiding me to do back then, you know, and um, the quantum healing helped me to resolve my connection to these moments of trauma and release them. And that makes it possible for me to be joyful, you know? And so, yeah, you can't go there right away. It's not an overnight gig. There's you know, weeks and months worth of processing. So anyway, Deborah, good to see you. Hello, Astra. Jeanette says, yes, itching, intense pain in my hands, plus incredible dream adventure, nonstop, everything, everywhere, all at once. Jeanette, I'm glad that you mentioned the hands specifically, because I've also been having the hands. When it first happened, I was like, okay, is my heart, you know what I mean? Because of the electric, it felt electric when the pain came through. You know, it was like very uncomfortable. The chakras of the temple and the okay, so we have chakras that are across our hands, so at the base of each of our fingers and our thumb, and then we have the chakras that go down the center. So all of these chakras here are also activating, and then there's one on the wrist here. There's a lot of other chakras that we don't actually talk about, that are throughout our body and beyond. We usually only talk about what they call the primary chakras, which are the seven chakras, you know, the crown, the third eye or the brow chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakras. Though there are very, 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 very many of them. Uh, the ones that are physically that are inside our body and not considered a system of chakras or a member of a system of chakras, then there's like 144 of them is what I'm told. So also migraines every morning. It's interesting. It's kind of like that popping, that's poppy stuff I'm talking about. Typically, that's like the first few hours after I've woken up. Like my head feels poppy. Like it feels like, I don't know, if you feel kind of dizzy after blowing up too many balloons, that kind of, it's weird. It's really interesting when I don't know. Hello, AG. Good to see you. Ralph from Scotland. Hi, Mila. Hi, all. Love from Scotland. Good to see you. Kara's here. Good to see you, Kara. Thank you for the green heart. I've had headaches every morning the last few days, says Lyra. Okay, so everyone's experience is a little bit different, but we're all having the same thing. Isn't that interesting? It's when we're waking up, and it's like this. Also, there have been a lot of reports about what you could call headaches in the back, upper back, neck, shoulder area when people wake up. This has got nothing to do with, where the way that we're sleeping. This is just a sudden, just now starting to happen kind of thing, So, uh, also the brain stem area. There's some activations that have been going on for the brain stem. This is near to the hippocampus at the base of the brain, and that kind of mitigates or moves into rather the neck area. This is the back of the mind. A lot of us have like over relied upon that, the whispering, low self-worth stuff on the back of your mind, right? Well, this is kind of being released right now. So we're finding that it first, before something is released, it causes this like flare up first. And so a lot of people are reporting having this experience too. Hello, good to see you. Julianne says, hello, Mila, sending lots of love. Thank you. Good to see you, Julianne. Deborah from Texas. Whoop, whoop. Man, there's going to be some snow coming through here, by the way. Hey, it's 33 degrees, and there's so many threes on my screen right now. It's crazy. Yeah, we're going to get snow here again, which is going to be really interesting. This far down south, it's kind of interesting when that happens. Hello, Jules. Good to see you. Tommy says, "Wow, rough week. Keep feeling like I might be getting the flu or head cold. Also, just wiped out at times. So just napping. Phew. Woo. Just want to feel good. A lot of us are feeling this, Tommy. A lot of us are having this experience. The message I get from my guides and higher self and the beings that come through is to be extra gentle with ourselves this next couple of weeks, actually. What we're having happen right now peaks on the 25th. And then after this message came through, I went and looked, and that's the day, of course, of the 7 planet parade, so pardon me. And if you go off with the theory that the planets are our chakras, it makes sense that when our chakras are all lined up, then there's going to be some stuff coming in about activations, right? And each one of the days leading up to the 25th is preparing us, helping us to better receive what's going to be coming in on the 25th. So just be gentle with yourself as much as you can, taking rest. Like if there's something that doesn't have to be done right now, just go slower if you can. This is the best thing to do. Extra water, extra rest, whether you're napping or just taking it slow, going, sloth style, like that cartoon, just letting yourself, take your time. Extra water, extra salt, grounding practices really, really help right now. Connecting with the soil. If you don't have soil that's warm enough to put your feet in outside, bring some in the house. You can play with it with your hands. You don't have to use your feet. Sometimes this is the best way to do it because, then you can play and be in this place of play instead of you're being dutiful. You're doing work. You know what I mean? Even getting like little Hot Wheel tractors and stuff to play in there. You know what I mean? Like letting yourself play. 10 minutes playing in it with your hands, 5 minutes resting your feet on top of it. This will really help and that this earthing really does. It's best, of course, to go directly outside and do it there, but we can't always do it this time of year for the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere it's during their winter. It's not always possible. So whatever we can do. Also baths with Epsom salt, as well as, I cannot remember right now the mineral. It starts with an M. Somebody's going to help me out. Goodness, why can I not remember that? Anyway, taking baths with these minerals will really help you. Even putting essential oils in the bath will really help. If you don't have a bath, you can do foot soaks. The reason that earthing works so well, the ionization process through the soles of our feet, is because those are the largest pores on our body. And that's also why herbal remedies can be administered through foot soaks. And so to do these other things work through, just soaking in the feet. Though it does help the skin if you can get the mineral on your skin. Remembering, last thing before I move on, regarding the itchiness, our bodies, this is just something my guy just reminded me, our bodies require oil. We wash off, or we clean off the oil off our bodies, and then we're kind of exposed. So adding oil to your skin after your bath really is a really helpful thing. I just use olive oil. Everybody has their own thing, and I use olive oil because I feel it as a high enough frequency for me. So use whatever works for you if you want to do that. Oh wait, hey, I skipped somebody. Astra, thank you very much. Thank you. I really truly appreciate that 999 super sticker. Character holding their hands together saying thanks. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. My daughter and I both appreciate that. Thank you. Cosmic Detective. People that are good at reading the human are saying that they're not seeing these energies before. What do you think? Yeah, actually, I totally agree too. So just the past, since about 6:30 last night, Central Time. So that would be 4:30 Pacific Time, 5:30 Mountain, 7:30 Eastern. Those are the ones I can do really easily. So that's why I did that. I guess I can do it. So some of Eastern Australia, I think it's Brisbane time. That's 10:30 a.m. All of a sudden, the Shaman just went and stabilized. Now we're stabilizing the energy, right? It's all that's coming. But I agree with you. It's been so wonky, and it's been kind of hard on the system, on the bodies, on our body, as this frequency, this energy is moving so rapidly. It looks like a tooth. Okay, I have this is my app. It's an app on my phone, so I'm actually not able to pull it up on the screen, but I can hold it up I can hold it up to the screen. Let me look. Oh, really? They're not going to give me the history of it. That's where. Oh, here we go. So, okay. First of all, let's show you guys where we are right now. Oh, darn it. This is where we are right now. Oh, come on. How do you read this, by the way? So here we are, right here. This is our time. How this is read is this bar down here on the bottom is the time. This is Russian time, okay? And then the intensity is on the side, okay? And so the lower it is down, the more intense it is, as you can see on this example over here, on this other side, right? See, you'll notice that when there isn't really any energy coming in, it's this blue color. And then it'll get kind of a lighter blue, and then it'll turn to this green color. And then from the green, it'll go to a yellow. Wait, then it goes to an orangish color. And then it goes to, yellow. Yeah. And then this yellow. The yellow is the most intense. All right. And so if you're seeing this, you're still noticing that there definitely is a pattern here, a stabilization pattern, though the spikes don't go down very far. Now let's really quickly go to this other one so I can show you another example. So this is what we've been doing. This is a pretty intense. This is the spikes you've been seeing the most lately. Okay, let's make it so you can see it. So these spikes here, this example here, right? It went all the way down. It was the whole length of this measurement on the side here, right? And so you can tell that this is a very intense moment. Sometimes you'll see it as a single strand, like a hair of energy that's moving through. And if it's taking up the whole screen, the length of the screen, you can count that as the expanse of the maximum that they measure there. Now I've seen it where it's actually jumped. We had it spike to 400. Okay, 400. It was 2020 when they stopped before they started putting a ceiling on it, because at the time we were only getting like 14, spike of 14 on occasion. Usually it was around 8, and lately though, since then, we've been getting more and more of this. And so that's a way to tell it, tell what's going on. But if you just look through, there's the past few days, you can just see this. Like, I don't know if you could you see my, okay, kind of. This is an app, so I can't actually bring this up on the screen to show you guys in a very easy way. So this is now, right? But then, whoops. But if you go through, look at each of these days lately. Like they look like teeth, right? There's just been like some crazy energy coming in. And this is uncommon. You won't typically see this. Usually the spike that comes in, it will be really intense. We'll have heart palpitations, and then like this expansive energy purge through and expand through, and then this moment of rest. And then there'll be a cycle again. What's been happening for us lately is there's been almost a stabilized frequency of like, it's kind of just nonstop coming in. And so it's definitely something that's activating us and assisting us. It just is very taxing on the system. Allowing yourself to take the rest that you need could really, truly help. It could really help. So thank you for bringing that up, because it's really cool. It's really neat. And then along with that, we're having all of this stuff, this activations throughout the planet, the shifting of the planet. Not only are we having earthquakes, but we're having volcanic activity. The volcanologists are all excited and packing their bags. We're having tornadoes. There was tornadoes around this side of the planet, of the country, just last night. For any of those that were affected by those, my heart goes out to you. There's just all kinds of stuff going on right now, all over the planet. So, hi Mila, says Astra. I've mentioned you. Excuse me. I've heard you mention that this is the year of non-action. I really want to get into action. Excuse me, such as moving house to another area. Do you think it's best to wait till the end of March to do this? Well, we're moving out of the year of inaction now. I agree with you that the end of March is technically what they were talking about when they were saying that, that it's the year of action. Inaction is over at that time. It's very specifically the 25th to the 29th. This window is where, instead of there being a single day, is where they make reference when they talk about the end of the year, or the new year rather. So if you can postpone it, I would. If I had that option personally, I would. It doesn't mean that you have to. I am noticing that the year of inaction is expiring, and so more and more we're starting to do more things. Like we're finding ourselves outwardly in action, doing action, participating in action. And so there's sometimes we can't really control the timing for it. Like I moved in the beginning of the inaction period. I moved in May, and so too. So it's whatever works out for you. Though if you can postpone it, I totally would. Until between the 25th and the 29th is when it's all of a sudden it's like we're supercharged. Suddenly you have the energy and the desire and the drive to act, to do all of this outward stuff. So tired, Lyra, napping a lot. I have also been having reflux, not usual for me. Hey, the reflux thing, I started having it too. And spirit, there was a lot of that was happening lately, and it's surprising how many things have the answer. Hey, it's 333 and it's 33 degrees, and that's crazy, a lot of threes. Anyway, salt. It sounds strange, perhaps, but most of us on this planet, or at least in this culture, I'm sure there's some areas in the world that they don't have this. We are conditioned to believe that salt is bad. Yeah, table salt, the iodized salt. I can't remember the word that they use because it doesn't mean iodine. Anyway, the stuff they put on that salt, and then whatever that is, that's not going to help us out. So Celtic salt is salt that is mined in the land. Excuse me, Celtic salt is mined in the sea, and pink salt. That's what I meant to say before, the first thing. And pink salt is mined in the land. So whatever one is most in alignment for you. Everybody has a different opinion on that, and so I choose to just give you the information and let you make your own decision. Everybody's finding, however, that the need for an increased amount of salt is it not only does it help this reflux, it also assists in every other way, like heart health, and surprisingly, these bits of information are coming out very gradually and slowly. They're trickling out. Though this is something that medicine has understood since 1953, that they actually stopped the data collection that was found that if people increase their salt intake, then it would assist their heart difficulties. And the American Heart Association stopped that. They stopped it, so that tells you a lot about what the American Heart Association actually does. Anyhow, so if you're having reflux, your body is low on salt. The reason that you have reflux is that your body, the low salt and the amount of salt in your body, your body is not able to make enough acid. Many people think that having reflux, because they call it acid reflux a lot of times, is a result of having too much acid, and it's actually the opposite. You don't have enough, and so your body's kind of out of balance. So what we do, at least what I do, is I'll have about a tablespoon of salt a day. I'll have it in my water, I'll have it in my food. I have a water bottle here that I have salt in, like that. I'll drink the salt water and then have regular water after it. I find that it quenches my thirst in a way that I can't otherwise. Our bodies need salt. So that really helps. That started to happen for us too. And that's where all that information came in for. So, and use your own discernment. I know that there's a lot of fear associated with salt because of what the doctors have said. People have strokes because they don't have enough salt in their body. All kinds of stuff happens because of the low salt stuff that people talk about. And they're not, what's the first thing that they do when someone's having a stroke or any kind of cardiac distress is they put you on salt water. That's what they do to solve your problem and to make you better. First thing that they do, but it's actual salt. It's not table salt, so that's the difference. New one for me, says Jules. Clicking sounds like Morse code in my right ear, not the usual high-pitched sounds in my left ear. Interesting. I've been getting this weird clicking too, the left side. So what'd you say? Right ear. Yeah, I'm getting left side clicking. And it does sound like it's some kind of a code. I don't know what it is yet. It does sound really cool though. I'm just kind of enjoying it and just kind of observing it because there isn't any energy body behind it that I can visually see. I can feel something that is to that side of me when it's occurring, like as if someone's standing there, but I'm not able to perceive them for some reason. Interesting. Thank you for your comment, Jules. That's really cool. Good to see you, Chef Deb. It's all right. I'm probably way late even answering yeah, you said that at 7 after. Like, that was 30 minutes ago. I'm really behind. Let's see. My poor grandson, 10 years, comes out in a rash around 6 p.m. and it lasts all night and goes in the morning and returns again later that day. He has had it for 2 weeks. Oh wow! So, um, I wonder what area that he's having the rash on the body. This is usually a result of the purging that's happening. Uh, considering I don't know, everybody eats different foods and keeps a different intake. But what if that were happened to me? The first thing I would do is because I would consider what I'm eating. Things that are not uh, processed, you know, because you want to eliminate all processed foods, especially if you're having issues like this, at least for a little while. You know, you find that after you eliminate the processed foods from your daily intake, that your body no longer craves it or desires it after 7 days. And that's because the parasites that are dependent on them and that they're actually the ones that are craving it die off within 7 days. That's why there's 7-day fasts and stuff like that. And so this younger generation, it's either they have quite a processed foods that they've kind of grown up with that. And so based on that, I don't know what to tell you, because that would be what I would say: eliminate processed foods, and then remembering to take daily baths. There's at least for a little while. You don't always have to do that, but I mean, I don't do it now any longer. I used to for a time there when I was doing a rapid purge, and started to have some serious rash related kind of stuff, like irritated skin and stuff like that. What it is that when we're purging this stuff, it's not just through our bowels, not just through the bathroom trips. It's not just through, the stuff that we cough up and things like that you can really pay note to. We also purge through the pores of our skin. And as it pushes through the pores of our skin, then it's on the surface of our skin and or causes the acne-like symptoms where there's these little bumps, and they're like sometimes full of stuff. This is this purge that's happening. And if we don't clean the skin off, then we end up having an irritation, and so that would be my guidance for you. It's really difficult with these younger people because, especially since it's a grandson instead of your own child, because then you can't really decide for them, and it's kind of complicated. But that would be what I would say. Who else is having stomach weirdness? I totally been having stomach weirdness. Yeah, dude. So is Vegan Vixen. Vegan Vixen says me too. Yeah, weird stomach. Just finding no desire, no appetite at all. I gotta sneeze. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, just no desire, really lack of appetite. I've been really sticking with the juices and the waters and the teas. But other than that, like I ate a little bit of something last night, but only because my daughter really wanted me to, and I just don't. Right now, I just no appetite. And I do feel just slightly nauseated, like just very, very slightly, not really sick to my stomach, just only when eating food, or thinking about eating food. No stomach issues, just my right knee again. The right side of the body, a lot of people have been talking about this again. It's really interesting that you're having it come back the same time as other people are having it come back. The right side, the knee in particular, the knee and the hip, and the right foot. Those three places on the right side are the most commonly reported. Then you'll see like for me, I was also having the foot thing too, but it was on my left foot. And so I don't know. I can tell you that the divine masculine is the right side, divine feminine is the left side. There are some people who think that it's the opposite, and that's okay. Whatever's correct for you. This is the way that I was raised to understand. This is like the First Nations people's kind of way of looking at it. So everyone's different. Bloated and gassy. A lot of people are talking about that too. That's becoming a bit of a joke around our house the past little bit. Yeah. Yes, Mila, restless and agitated. Oh, vegan, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, dude, it's been really weird. Past coming up. Yep. Yep. Lot of past life review stuff or life review stuff. Um, this is the reason we're having this to coming forward so we'll feel through it rather than ignore or deny it any longer. So it can move on. It can move on that way in that way. Yes, life review is a real thing. Yeah, dude. So a lot of us are feeling it. Yeah. Um, Amelia, yes, random memories flashing in. Yeah, dude. So a lot of you are feeling this, and I really do appreciate your validation too for my own experience as well as your all everybody here and everybody's gonna listen to this later on because this is a real thing. And there's a solution to this. There's a way to solve this. Is simply to allow yourself to feel through it, to lean into it, lean into the pain rather than away from the pain or the discomfort so it can go is really how it works out. Because usually when these things come up, we call them cringe moments sometimes. When these moments come up, then we just kind of go, oh, I don't want to think about that. And just think about something else. That's something else, anything else. And then you kind of like throw it away and hide it away again. And then try to come up with something else to consider. And then that just stores it away again. It locks it in place again. And so it's coming up in order to say, feel through me so I can go. And then it will. It does. It goes. Excuse me. Deep exhaustion. Yeah, Melissa. Deep exhaustion. Man, so profound. Like, I don't have a better way. I feel like there should be a bigger word because of the depth of the exhaustion we're experiencing right now. Those solar storms are lit. Yeah, there's some, like we're getting some cool solar activity happening, but they're just, yeah, what we're actually, the geomagnetic storm that you're talking about that we're getting as a result of lack of solar activity has been fascinating. It's been really fascinating to watch. It's like, and I love watching the scientists going, like, what's going on? Why is this happening? Usually, the geomagnetic storms, at least we've been taught to believe, that are the result of these solar flares. You can usually expect a geomagnetic storm is going to hit within so many hours after a big solar flare leaves the sun, Earth direct, right? Well, we're getting them. And there's no solar flares that are hitting the Earth. Or if we are, they're very, very low grade kind of stuff. Hello, Dawn. Hi, love to all. Thank you. Whole body shakes, inner being, ease and grace. All. Yeah, whole body shakes. So this is something that a lot of people have been reporting the past couple of days. So the past 3 or 4 days, some really intense ascension symptoms have been happening. More than usual. Like, I mean, a lot more than usual. And one of a real common experience is this: your body feels like it's vibrating in its core. Your core is vibrating. And as the core of yourself vibrates, then you find like this release of stuff. And a lot of times we don't know to do that. So what I mean by that is it's what it's doing is it's shaking it out. Like, that's what Archangel Michael calls it, the great shaking out is what he says. And that quaking, that shaking is meant to kind of like agitate the things that need to float on and go away. And what we tend to do is we go like this, and we kind of like then try to keep all of it in. And that's not what we need to do right now. Just kind of release it and let it go out and know that you're safe and that you're okay as it moves through. Just kind of lean into the shake of it, just let it happen. As much as, maybe even doing this when you're laying down, if you're worried about falling over or something, or sitting when you're doing it, just, shake your whole body, may even really kind of like jar out some of it. I feel like there's something there, because that's what they just showed me with somebody doing that. So I don't know if that was literal. I think it was a little, it feels like it was. Dwayne says, purge emotions, anger, depression, physical joint pain, itching, tickling around nostrils. I've been having that tickling thing too. I'm not having it as much around the nostrils, but I have been having it. but it's been like around the ear. Like you guys see me scratch a lot right here. It's because of that, like that weird tickly thing that's happening. Um, the joint stuff. A lot of people are noticing this joint, and so it depends on the side of your body that is experiencing, or you're having the experience with. Though, consider what it means to be, in the feminine energy or in the masculine energy, and that isn't to say anything about what gender you are. Every person, man, woman, and child, right? All of us have both divine masculine and divine feminine energy. And so many of us have, including not just all men, including most women, until the past little while, have denied their divine feminine aspects. It really wasn't anchored here. It didn't start to anchor until 2022, really. And so as that started to happen, we've been learning how to energetically participate with the energy. That seemed redundant, but that was the best way to say it, I think. Anyhow, so consider what side of the body, and then what does it mean to be feminine? What is the femininity energy, the divine feminine energy? Well, that's nurturing. That's the creator. That's the mother. That's that kind of stuff. The nurturer. And then the divine masculine energy. That's the protector. That's the doer, that's the action, that's the the loud play, that's the assertiveness, that's the independence, that's those types of qualities, and so just keeping those things in mind, that really helps. Depression, I've been noticing that there's been these tinges of like these unpleasant collective energies moving through. And so I've also been sensing this too. It's not connected to me directly, which is very useful to know when it happens for me because, for me, I'm not somebody who does find myself in depression or low energy like that, typically, emotionally speaking. And so when it comes in, it kind of catches me off guard. And then it makes it easier to kind of realize that it's not coming from me. So just know that you're not alone, and that when you're experiencing this, that it doesn't have to attach to you. You don't have to connect to it. That let it move through you and out. And a lot of times that has to do with leaning into it. And then, of course, the anger, frustration, irritability, and and anger are really super common right now. A lot of people have been talking about this. I know I've been feeling it. And it's just letting it purge and letting it out. One of the things I've learned, because I'm that person that if there's an innocent bystander, then I immediately go to a place of guilt, feeling bad that I had let the anger out on somebody. And so if I can let myself release it without having that experience, it can be a euphoric sensation. And so what I've done, I've discovered a way about that is I'll go outside and I'll direct my energy at the sky. When I go out to do this, I'm not projecting it on, some unsuspecting victim or some, innocent bystander or passersby. And because of this, because there's nobody that's harmed in the process, and I release all this energy as if I'm screaming or shouting without using my voice. I choose to not use my voice, only because it causes me physical distress. I don't like that feeling. Anyway, I can immediately go into this place of euphoria. I purge, and then I'm like in this bliss. I'm in this bliss state. It's really, really beautiful and lovely. So just considering that, keeping that in mind, that might be helpful. Cosmic Detective says drinking pink salt with water a lot and intermittent fasting, floaty Mercury and Pisces. And you know what? I don't know what NN means. North Node, probably. North Node and Pisces conjunct Neptune, a real trip. I'm sure it means North Node. Wow. Yeah. So I'm really glad you brought up intermittent fasting because I definitely 100% do this. Intermittent fasting, everybody's different, and it's actually suggested differently for different people, meaning male or female. Though I think for men, it's not as either the break in between meals isn't as long. I think it's how it works out. I think it's like 14 hours for men. Um, everybody's different, so just feel into it and kind of come up with your own. For me, I'll go about 18 hours without eating, and then I'll have a meal. My break fast. My break fast happens in the eating typically. And then I'll get more than enough calories when my body is wanting it. Right now I'm not. I have no appetite. My body doesn't really want anything. And so I am doing a lot of the pink salt too, pink salt water, and not really feeling a big drive for food. She goes on to say, oh, and Saturn and Pisces too. March is going to be fun. Just my astro perspective. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, I'm actually very much looking forward to March. I'm not looking beyond where we are right now, but there's definitely a lot of anticipation and excitement for the coming March window. The plate might need to be adjusted if it's uncomfortable. It takes 2 weeks to form a ridge in the mouth. And then, wait. Oh, I bet this was Vegan Vixen. Hey, Vegan. Teeth, gums, and mouth issues. Had to have another tooth out and stitches, plus 4 fillings. Cost me a fortune and don't like the teeth on a plate. Yeah. Well, honey, my heart goes out to you. I know that a lot of people have reported having dental and oral stuff going on lately. There's a lot of this. What's really interesting is as I leaned into it yesterday, and I was in a session with somebody else talking about this or something like this, and what Spirit showed me was that it was orange, yellow, and green chakras rather than blue in the mouth area. So we're talking about the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart chakras. So I thought that was really interesting. I know that our chakras don't stay stationary typically. They're not always in that, this is the purple or white one, this is the indigo one, this is the blue one, and so on. Though it is interesting when you see them in different places because that's a code. That's something for you to understand. So, and what I got was this is something that's happening for a lot of people. So I find this really fascinating. So the identity, childlike nature, the standing in your truth, the healing of the heart. There's a lot of stuff. If you look into what those 3 chakras mean, the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart chakra, and you kind of look through and see what they mean and what they stand for, it usually will help you to understand what the message is trying to be, or what message that's coming through there is attempting to show you. So twitching at the base of the left thumb for a couple of days, says Christy. Oh, it's so annoying when that happens. Having a lot of this weird twitching stuff coming back again. This is like reminiscent of like 2020, the activation that we had 5 years ago. Almost exactly 5 years ago. I think it was May 2020 when it really started to happen. It was March 2020 where the ear ringing started coming and just didn't stop. There was a lot of really cool activations that happened March 2020. As a lot of you recall, that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the lockdown. In fact, it was March 27th that it became a federal mandate for a lockdown. I just know that because that was my birthday. And so a lot of that kind of stuff's coming back again. I find that fascinating, the way that it was at that time coming back now. As the shaking out happens, keep in mind that you're guiding it out. You're sending out what doesn't serve you. It's the great shaking out. It's kind of like the agitation cycle in the wash. It brings out the stuff that's kind of stuck down and trapped and releasing it. basically, which is also what's happening throughout the planet, where these great shakings up are happening throughout the planet right now. You know, earthquakes and volcanic activity, as well as a variety of other types of stuff. So hi, Gina, garden maintenance. I've been enjoying your chats. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Deborah says, very cold here in Texas. Yeah, dude, I think I saw a chart and it's like across the country, everyone is getting, okay, think I took a screenshot, but I take so many pictures. Yeah, so Texas is going to be uh, 30 below average this week. It's anywhere between 32 and 38 below average. Like all over the country, we're all going to be below average temperature wise, because it's going to be extra cold. We got a wind chill coming in that's below freezing, or below zero, I mean. So that's like, I don't know how to translate that in Celsius, but it's really freaking cold, dude. Because so freezing point is 32 Fahrenheit, and then minus that 30, those 32 points, and go below that. We're expecting 20 below wind chills over the next couple of days around this area. It's really crazy. I'm currently reading the book Joyce. Oh, I think she's talking to Joyce. I'm not very good at keeping track of I don't like to highlight your conversations, so I like you to have private conversations too if you want. Hey, Diamond Heart 888. Pardon me. Loving you all. Big hugs, peeps. Huge love, Mila. I could kiss you, girl. Oh, I love you. On the cheek, of course. Heart to heart. Love. We got this. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. This is awesome stuff that we're having come in. It's really, and that's a takeaway I really hope you all have when you leave this conversation, is to know that, it's good stuff that we're having happen. It really is, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. It really is good stuff. It's upgrades. It's helping us. It's guiding us. And the upgrades that we're receiving right now are going to assist us in the coming weeks, days, months, so on. We have a spike in energy expected over the next 2 days. I have it written on my calendar here that is expected, that there's going to be some earth shifting and earth quaking and things like that are occurring over the during the 17th and 18th for the Northern Hemisphere. And so I'm kind of waiting to see what that's going to be like and what that means. We got that message before all these other earthquakes started happening, so I don't know. Anyway, I've been feeling like I see flashes of light. Sometimes when I turn on the light, and sometimes just seeing flashes, says Gina. So this is super common. Usually, okay, what this is, you're beginning to see energies. Energies could be those who had been incarnated in the past. It can also be other types of energy. Guides, angels, guardians. There's a lot of different words that we use to try to describe these things. Typically, we'll see them in the peripheral vision first. So they'll be like in the corner of our eye, right? I find it to be more common than not that people will first perceive them on the left before seeing them on the right. But there's people who have both sides. It's just most common. So if you can find your strength, the side that's your strength side, and to lean toward that, this is useful to note, is that when you're starting to first see orbs and spheres and silhouettes and flashes and stuff like this, it's, if you look directly at it, so if you turn your eyes to look at it, that actually will make it disappear. It's not like it's gone. It's just you can't see it anymore. Typically, we're also looking with alarm. So we lower our frequency just a little bit. We lower our vibration slightly. Then we're no longer keeping the same vibration as we were before. And then we aren't able to perceive exactly what we were seeing first before that. And so anyway, allowing yourself to, instead, what I'll do is I'll kind of like divert my eyes, not out of respect or like omnipotence or something like that. I just kind of like lower my eyes, so I stop using them. Stop using my physical eyes for a moment, and you'll be able to start to perceive them more and engage, interact with the being or presence that's there. It's pretty cool. If you're wondering if you're not sure if it's a good energy or not, all you have to do is just send love to it. Send love to this frequency, this thing, this individual. And if it is of love, it will return the love. If it is, oh, magnesium, thank you. Thank you for saying magnesium. I was so wondering. I was hoping I could find that before the end of the call. Thank you. I don't know why vocabulary has been gone, dude. If it is of love, it will return the love tenfold usually. If it is not of love, it will flee, for the shadow cannot stand before the light. So it's useful to know that. It's like a repellent for that is the stuff that isn't light. That isn't awesome. Tommy, thank you so much. Super sticker 999. Pair character bowing down saying thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. My daughter and I truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, and everybody's saying magnesium. Thank you so much for that. Man, I got really behind in my comments, in the comments here as I was going along. I do need to kind of wrap this up, so I'm going to just scroll through, and I am drinking sea salt with water right now. Excellent suggestion. Awesome, Sandra. That's really a good idea. It's super useful to have any kind of salt. If you can put it in your water, that really helps. Another thing I do that for convenience, because then I just have it right here and I can take a sip of that. Usually I'll swish it around a little bit, swallow it, and then I can have some water. You can also put salt underneath your tongue, put it on a spoon or something, or just kind of put the shaker underneath your tongue, and then take, a drink of regular water, whatever works for you. I find this to be more convenient. I do sessions. I do this type of thing here in front of the computer often enough that it just works out really great to have it right here. And so I'll tend to do that. I'll also do the shaker. If I'm feeling like I'm in some kind of distress, or I'm eating more salt to balance me out, I'll definitely go and put, an amount on a spoon and put that underneath my tongue before I drink water. I'll notice the result almost immediately within 2 or 3 minutes. All of a sudden, I just feel better, so. Yes, nonstop high-pitched sounds. That's right. Yeah, these really fascinating frequencies coming in, these pitches that are coming in, the different types of, we call them ringing in our ears. But there's more to it. It's been a lot more lately. I've been finding that to be really super fascinating, and it's of a different note. It's something different. I don't know. The salt tip is awesome. Has helped me tremendously, Mila. Awesome. Thank you very much for your comments. I have pink salt, gray salt, black salt, and white Celtic salt. Awesome. Yeah, dude. Salt. Salt is really, really, really going to help you out. And I am not really surprised, I suppose, but annoyed looking at how many of these really simple, at home healing mechanisms we've had available to us that have been blocked in order to continue the financial revenue of the medical system. And it's not even the people that are the actual workers that are doing this. They don't even, most of them don't even know what's going on. It's like my daughter has said previously, we can't detect a lie if the liar doesn't know they're lying. They've been lied to, and then their information that they're presenting to you sounds like a truth because they don't know that they're lying. So it's confusing. That's why empaths like us kind of find it like really confusing because we're like, it sounds, there's something wrong about it though. There's still a very faint note of mistruth. I don't know. Hi, Light Activator. Good to see you. Welcome. Just getting ready to wrap up. Oh, hey, Trina's here too. Me too. Stomach issues, bloating, burning pains in legs, ear ringing, exhaustion. The bloating thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Bloating, um, kind of a lot of just Buddha belly kind of stuff. A lot of reports of that. I've been having it too. It's it was very surprising to see my profile in the mirror yesterday. I was like, whoa, like, and then it's all like this, where it's retention of water. We're just having all this crazy water retention right now. It's bizarre. Um, Burning pains in legs. I wonder if the burning pain that you're talking about is like, does it feel kind of electric? Because I had something very similar yesterday. Thank you for your comment, Trina. Good to see you. Jeanette, good to see you. Hi, Mila, and everyone in the chat. Anyone who missed my last show with guests, it was Jeanette here, and it was a really awesome conversation. If you get a chance, we aired on Wednesday. Carmen's here. Good to see you, Carmen. Carmen's always first in my heart. Also, this coming Wednesday, so in a couple of days from now, today is Sunday for me. It'll be Guardian. Guardian's going to be joining us, and we're going to be starting on little bit early, an hour earlier than we normally do, for that show. And then also the week after, rather than Wednesday, it's going to be on a Tuesday, which is the 25th. So it's the day of the Parade of Planets, and that day Elsa will be joining me. I have a full calendar, and if I actually can pull up my calendar really quick and tell you guys, if you're just really before I sign off, then oh yeah, so the 5th is normally the Wednesday, is normally when I do my show. The 5th of March would be a Wednesday, but the 4th of March is the anniversary for me doing YouTube. And so I kind of thought that maybe I would do open mic that day. I've never done an open mic before. Why not? And so just to kind of celebrate that, I thought that maybe I would do the show on Tuesday that week instead of Wednesday, and I would do an open mic. And that'd be March 4th. So that's the anniversary of this YouTube channel. That'd be kind of fun. And then the week after that, we have set up. We have Paige for the 12th, and then Kirsty's the 19th, and on the 26th is Be Joy, and on the 9th of April is Elsa, perhaps, if she can come. The 16th is Sandra. There's so that's all the way to April, but we have a lot of people coming on. It's going to be really awesome. However, if there's any one of you out there ways to share your voice, then please send me an email. I'm always looking for new people, new voices, anybody that wants to share and have a platform to do that. So if you want to be on the show, just send me an email, and I can't meet with people before the show. It doesn't usually work out that way. So the way it works is you send me an email and I'll say, okay, cool. Well, here's the times that I have available. Which one do you want? And I need an image for like shoulder to head to shoulder kind of image. And then the day before or a couple days before, I'll send you a link, and then you just join and we have a conversation. Usually I can come on up to 10 minutes before the show. I tend to be a little bit rushed. I'm a single mom with no interaction assistance or anything from the father. And we do homeschool. And so I'm like usually busy till right up to when I'm about to do something like this. Anyway, so anyway, if you're interested, please send me an email. I'm always looking for new people. Carmen says, I was awake for almost 4 days, no sleep, so much energy. That's awesome, Carmen. I'm really happy to hear that you're having such awesome upgrades. I'm finding that I'm exhausted and then exhilarated. Like, yeah, so I have felt what you're talking about. It's just not as consistent as it's mostly just like, man, I'm just super tired. Super tired. I sent an email, but I didn't get a reply. I just figured you were busy. Oh, you really? Please send it again. Sometimes what has been happening, I fixed it. But what had been happening was, yeah. Anyway, I fixed it. Please try again. My email was diverting to, uh, everything was going to junk mail, and I did anyway. So please try again. I would appreciate it. Anyway, I got to get going. My daughter can use my attention. So I love all of you so very, very much. Please know that, you're not alone, and to be gentle with yourself right now at this time would be the most beautiful and helpful thing to do. So allowing yourself to take the time to just rest, extra water, salt, grounding, connecting with soil. You know, I like that Catherine just said magnesium again. So we can magnesium, and Epsom salt baths. You know, making sure that you're taking your time and letting yourself feel. There's a lot of people who are not used to crying, that are crying a lot right now. Releasing it. Allow yourself to release it, please. And that'll help you a lot. So, um, you're amazing, Mila. As a single homeschooling mom, I am amazed how you find time to help us. Oh, thank you. I would do more. I really appreciate that you said that, because I always feel like, oh, I wish I could stay here longer. You know, thank you all so very much for all that you do as well. Like, you are in service to the whole collective and to this grand awakening and the ascension that we're all experiencing. You as a family make this possible for everybody to be able to uplift and assist the whole as well as themselves. So thank you all. I'm sending you so much love. Oh, one more thing before I forget. Next Saturday, it's the 22nd. It's the 222 portal, right? That's February 23rd for the Southern Hemisphere. I'm going to lead a group meditation Zoom meeting. And so for anyone who would like to participate with that, I'm going to put up that link in the community section of my YouTube channel and on Telegram. And on Facebook, I think, if I can remember to do it. I often forget to do it on Facebook. So if you don't see it on Facebook, please look on my YouTube channel or in the Telegram group. And we're going to actually do that at 4 p.m. Central Time. So that works out where it's early enough and not too late for all the different time zones to be able to join. So we'll start that at 4 p.m. Central Time. So that's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, and so on. So you can look for that link in the community section. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you all for being here. I'm just going to grab all your awesome, cute emojis and comments here. Sending love to all of you. Thank you for being here. And I will see you on Wednesday, where I join with Guardian. Aho blessings.